Hello, could you hear me? There we go. It's finally working. Yeah, I'm so glad you can make it. The first thing I really ask is just, where are you calling from?
Texas.
Fullerton.
From Czechia.
In Seattle.
Arkansas.
Vancouver, BC.
Louisiana.
And wherever you're tuning in from, welcome to Milking Ardor. If you're new here, hi. My name is Spencer Chan, and this is my podcast, Milking Ardor. On this podcast, we hear all sorts of stories from people from around the world. We share people's life lessons that they've learned, the experiences they face, and the passions they are pursuing. If this sounds interesting to you at all, please help me spread the word, because Milking Ardor is primarily word-of-mouth advertisement. So if you could help me get the word out, I would love that a lot. On this week's episode, we are going to be hearing from Marcello Hernandez, an outstanding comedian and overall just an amazing person. See, Marcello, he actually tricked me, and he actually got me to turn on my camera, which is not really something I normally do when I do the interviews. I mostly interview without the cameras on both my side and the person I'm interviewing, but Marcello got me, and here we are doing an interview with the videos on. So if you want to check out our faces and just see us, you could go on YouTube and watch us there. If not, if you just want to listen to the audio, this is it right here. So without further ado,
You're a young beast out here. You're getting your stuff. I'm taking my glasses off too. No need for the glasses.
I hate the glare.
Yeah, I feel you. I get some glare on them. Dude, you're a young beast. I started comedy at 18 years old in Cleveland, Ohio, going to shows with a bunch of older people and just kind of, adapting to that environment. So I love what you're doing, bro, and I love that you're a young kid out here getting it. So hell yeah, dude. This is dope.
Yeah, this is really interesting because I actually never really fully
Absolutely, man. And it's only going to go up, dude. All you have to do is be consistent and make them all the time and never stop making them. And even when people say it sucks, just keep making it and never stop, dude. I got lucky, bro. I used to people have talked about my comedy being bad and how somebody called me a bathroom break comedian once. They said that if you want to go to the bathroom, for now is the time before this guy gets on stage. I've been through it all. So, and then now stuff's going a little bit better. So it's kind of just solidified for me the idea that you just can't stop, dude. Never, ever stop. If you like doing this, if you like sitting there, putting your headphones on and doing a podcast, never stop doing that.
Yeah. And you've been in the comedy comedy field for 8 years, right?
So no, I've been since I was 18. I started, and then so in January it'll be 5 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
okay.
still a baby in the game. Basically, there's this guy, Jerry Seinfeld.
Of course.
Great. So the way I think of it is I always think of Jerry Seinfeld because Jerry Seinfeld says that the amount of years you've been doing comedy is your age in comedy. So if you've been doing comedy for 5 years, you're a 5-year-old. You're like a baby. 10 years old now you're starting to get a little older. You're starting to figure it out. And then when you're 15, 17, 18 years in, now you're starting to understand life and understand how this game works.
Sure.
So having that mindset about comedy has made me very patient throughout the entire process. I've never been it has to happen today. I'm dude, it's going to happen when I'm 15 years in. You know what I mean? So
sure, you have to build yourself credibility.
Right. Over years and years and years and years of grinding. And if you accept that for your industry, I don't think that you're the opportunity for you to succeed is way higher because you've become a long-term investor versus a quick in and out guy,
I think for me too, it's not really about the number of years, or it's more it's not about the fame really. For me, it's just to do this just to interview people from around the world. So I'm glad I'm able to talk to you today. and hear your stories.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me, man. I'm just proud. I'm proud of you, bro. I'm proud
Thank
that
you.
you have a mic stand that works. I still don't know how to set up my mic stand, and you're killing it, dude.
Yeah, right on. I mean, just to like formally introduce yourself, the first question I really ask is, what's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Marcello, and I am being called from Miami, Florida. That's where I live right now.
All right. And I don't know your relationship status, Marcelo, but if you were on a first date, what are you saying to really show who you are?
If I'm on a first date, I don't know, man. I think on a first, it all depends on the moment. You know, depends on
For
what's going
sure.
on. I'm a very observant person,
Mm,
so I think maybe what separates me is maybe like when we're at dinner, I'll probably notice like the way somebody is holding their fork, or
yeah.
or like what the or like what the waiter, you know, what type of hairstyle they have, or something weird, something very specific. And I'll probably notice it, maybe make fun of it, maybe laugh, maybe not.
For sure. Why would you
Yeah.
say that is? What's the appeal to being so observant for you?
I don't know, dude. Like when I first heard Seinfeld talk about like how he likes talking about faucets and like just like random stuff, I was like, that's awesome. Like I would love to talk about things that are just like tiny and people think they're meaningless, but they aren't. Like topics that are just like random, and I don't curse on camera or like when I'm filming my videos, and I also don't talk about sex. So I've kind of like chosen this life where I create content that is, you know, Seinfeldian. Like it's about just random things that people do and humans do that I find interesting. I think I'll have more fun talking about that
Yeah,
than talking about going out and drinking or partying or girls or any of that.
for sure. How would you say that this type of viewpoint of life really has affected your relationships or your comedy?
Well, I think it's affected my relationships positively because, you know, anybody that's with me in a romantic or just a friendly way, they kind of know that I don't really air that out
Mm-hmm.
for comedy.
Mm,
I kind of choose to dabble on topics that are general and then dive into them and pick them apart. I'm this will be done, but this won't come out by the time the video comes out. But my next video is about peeing. It's about when you pee.
interesting.
Like Spencer, let me ask you something. Do you like to pee?
I love to pee.
Isn't it the best feeling?
I drink so much water a day. It's
Just so you
insane.
could pee.
Just so I could pee. It's like so I like I have really I'd say I have like pretty okay social skills. But of course, I'm like also introverted, so sometimes I just have to get out of there. Best excuse, I gotta pee. What are you gonna do? Stop you? Like, no, I gotta get out of here now.
That's
Best
so
thing.
true, man.
Yeah.
Peeing is the perfect excuse
It really is.
because nobody's gonna be like, oh yeah, prove it.
That's true. Who is to tell you you're lying? No one. But if you like fake an
That's great.
injury,
That's so great. Yeah,
if you fake an injury, people are gonna be like, oh, okay,
yeah.
you're faking it. That's something you could fake. But I had to pee or I had to like poop. Like
Can't
what?
fake that. Not to mention, peeing feels great, dude. There's no feeling like peeing,
Yeah, especially when you just get those like shivers, you know?
dude. Ah, you know how people they drink a drink and then they go ah. I have never done that. I have never taken a sip of a drink and gone ah. I've never done that.
Really?
But every time I pee, I either think or I verbally go ah.
Wow. What was the spark of inspiration for this upcoming video of yours?
I don't even know, dude. I was just like, everybody loves to pee. Like the video is basically about how I could walk into a bathroom and there could be poop on the walls, graffiti, a cat, and once I start peeing, I'll feel like I'm on an island.
It's true. It's definitely
You know what I mean?
a euphoric experience for everyone.
And if you don't like to pee, if anybody that's listening to this doesn't like to pee, you should see your doctor
Mm.
because you should like to pee.
Yeah. Interesting.
You should it should be good.
When's this video coming out?
Tomorrow, so
Tomorrow.
whenever this comes out, it will have come out. So check out my peeing video. If you love to pee, it's out now. When does this come out?
I normally post on Saturdays, but I'm kind of stacking because I have school.
Oh,
So
okay.
this might come in
Nice,
like 2
Spencer.
weeks, in 2 weeks or something like that.
You're very smart, Spencer. You should start stacking. That's very genius of you.
Yeah. So comedy started for you at age 18. What was the appeal? How did you get into it?
I was a college soccer player. I played soccer in college, and basically every year in high school, I was playing soccer year round.
Mm-hmm.
And then college soccer was the first time where after the season was over, I was kind of done for a while. Like I had some time off. And I had done a little bit of acting in high school. So I was like, you know what? Let me try this open mic comedy show. So I took some friends with me to an open mic during my soccer off season. And I just loved to do it. I loved preparing the material. I loved going up and sharing it. It didn't even do well, but I just love that. Like, I love that if you do this correctly, people will laugh. Like
Sure.
that idea was just priceless for me. And I was like, I have to do that.
Interesting. So then did you say that you are where you wanted to be from age 18?
No.
Where did you think you were
Um,
going to go or be?
well, the thing is, this virus situation has really put a twist on everything. So
Yeah.
I was actually in New York City when it all happened. I was living there. I was doing comedy every night. I was selling tickets on the street to strangers.
For comedy, or
So
what are the tickets for?
for comedy, yes, for my
Gotcha.
own comedy shows.
Right on.
So when this happens, when all of this goes down, my entire life got flipped. But, during this pandemic, I've gone from, you know, 2,000 followers to 3,000 followers on Instagram. And I've gone from 0 followers on TikTok to 92,000 now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've made the most out of it, but it's definitely not where I thought I would be. Definitely not.
Right on. What brings you to Miami?
My family lives here.
Mm.
So I came back to be with my parents. Being with your parents is weird. My parents are divorced. It's kind of like the best thing right now is having divorced parents because you kind of have two homes to choose from. It's nice.
Interesting. Yeah, I've never thought about it that way.
Yeah, so it's kind of nice. Like the other day, my mom came home from grocery shopping, and I was like, "Hey, mom, could you wash your hands?" And then she goes, "Did you even floss today?" And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Did you even floss?" And I was like, "Why are you asking that?" And she was like, "Do you know how much bacteria is in your mouth?" And I was like, "I still don't understand why this is relevant." And she goes, "Don't worry about my hands. Worry about your mouth." So when she said that, I was
Interesting.
like, I'm going to my dad's.
Yeah, I don't know how you could really convince out of anyone, your mom or a parent that interesting.
Yeah, she did not want to wash her hands, and so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a trip over to Pop's house, see what the vibe is like.
Yeah. Just like
She's
even,
very nice. She
of
washed her
course.
hands, everybody. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Of course. I mean, just like even before this pandemic, what was your regular schedule like? Or, I mean, are you even planning to go back to New York, or are you gonna stay in Miami after this quarantine?
So we'll see. It's kind of like everybody keeps saying this. So after quarantine, what are your plans? Like,
Sure.
after this is all over, what are your plans? It's like, let's have it all be over first,
Yeah.
and then I'll think about it. For now, I've found a little bit of work here in Miami, so I'm excited to get to work on stuff here for a bit. And if this opportunity works out and I enjoy doing it, I'll stay here for a while, and then eventually I think I'll have to move to either New York or LA, at least for a little while, just to try to get more work. It's all about work, Spencer. That's all I'm looking for is work.
Yeah. Is I'm trying to phrase the question in my head. Where do you see yourself like in the future? Even just like, is this still working on the line of work you're doing now, or comedy? Next Jerry Steinfeld?
Yeah, I mean, I hope, man. That is a dream of mine to be the next Jerry Seinfeld. I want to be the Hispanic Jerry Seinfeld. I want to work clean, be Hispanic, provide, illuminate the Latin community.
Yeah.
I want to, show people how different Latin people are. There's so many different types of Latin people. I'm pretty fair skinned. People usually think I'm a white guy, which by the way, fair skinned, I don't like that term. It's like, so what? Are people that are darker unfair? Like, how does that make
Yeah.
sense? So I would say I'm just light skinned. And so people think I'm a white guy, but, I have, friends that are Hispanic of all types and of all races. And I kind of just want to exemplify that in an artistic way. So I'm a Cuban Dominican comedian, and this is what I look like, and this is what I sound like. The same way there's, a lot of different types of people that are Hispanic, but I definitely hold my Hispanic culture.
Yeah. I was just like thinking about it, just like, okay, clearly I don't think things are ever going to go back to normal, but if things were to like get better overnight, think about how awkward and kind of like shitty we're all going to feel inside, having to like go back to school or having to go back to like a workplace, you know? Like you can't like clip your toenails anymore. You can't like pick your nose, you know?
Yeah, picking your nose is so over. Picking your nose is so over, and biting your nails is
Yeah.
so over.
You can't get away with it anymore.
I was looking at my teeth. Yeah, you cannot get away with it anymore. You have to think before you bite your nails now. I used to bite my nails without thinking. Now I'm thinking. I'm like, did I wash my hands yet? Did I use a sanitizer? Am I
Yeah.
ready to bite my nails? Am I in a place in my life where biting my nails is an okay thing to do?
Right on. So as a comedian, you clearly must, or, okay, you're kind of like a baby, I guess, the way you've explained it. You're like 5 years old. But
just a
how would
baby.
you say your storytelling skills have improved, or how's that?
Yeah, I think they've improved definitely. I mean, I'm getting. It's just all practice, right? So the more I do it, the better I feel I get at it. Uh, I think that it's basically the way people talk about it in the comedy community is that there's no replacement for stage time. So
Mm.
the more that you can get in front of people, the more that you can perform, the better you'll get.
Yeah.
So I've kind of noticed that stage time is not even an option right now. So my camera and my videos are my only stage time. So I try to do that as much as I can. And the more I do it, I guess I get better at it. And hopefully, I'll reach a point where um, it just becomes my life. Like I don't want to work and I don't want to do anything other than this, than do comedy, talk to you, do podcasts,
Yeah.
perform. I just want to do that as much as I can.
Have you heard about like the online comedy shows? I know that's like happening. I was talking with some other comedians.
Yeah, I've done a few of those. I've done a few Zoom shows. It's fun. I mean, it's stage time, man. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, we're in a pandemic and you still need to practice. Bodybuilders are finding a way to continue to build their bodies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Everybody's finding look at you working out of your brother's room just so you can make it work, so you can keep your dream going. Nobody has the luxury to just do nothing.
That's true. Very true.
Nobody. Even Ellen DeGeneres is like putting Instagram stories on now because she needs to interact with her audience. Nobody is just doing nothing. So you have to do something.
Yeah. And I think the moment you kind of just take a break, that's when things kind of go downhill for you.
Literally, as soon as you stop moving, as soon as you go idle, it's over.
Yeah. So, just tell me
Totally agree.
something crazy that's happened to you, or just kind of really weird, or just tell me a story.
Um, Craziest thing that's happened to me. I'm trying to think. I feel like I've gone through something weird recently. I Well, this is I don't know how to say that. Let me think. That's a good question. Something weird that's happened to me. Do you want to maybe inspire me? Do you have anything weird that happened to you recently?
Man, I was not expecting that. For the tables to turn.
The flip.
Yeah. Oh man, that completely threw me off.
Wow. Yeah, dude. Just anything weird. Has anybody said anything weird to you? Do you go out a lot? I don't go out at all, dude. I don't really go out at all. I don't really hang out with people. I'm very COVID conscious, so very few weird things have happened to me recently
Yeah.
because I've been kind of laying low. Definitely TikTok going crazy. That was weird. I didn't expect that at all.
Yeah.
Um,
I have a story.
Ooh, nice. All right.
All right.
Inspire me.
I got invited to a party and I was like, nah, I'm not going. So everyone kind of knew like I'm clean. And there's this girl in my class who was going around the class asking for people's pee. Okay, that's kind of strange, but I wasn't expecting her to ask me since I wasn't that close to her. But then after school, she came to me and she was like, "Hey, Spencer," and she just went straight into it. "Could I have your pee?" What? Why are you asking for my pee? She's like, "Well, I have a drug test and I'm not clean." And I'm like, "Oh." I'm like, "You can't ask any of your other guy friends or girlfriends?" And she's like, "No, because they're not clean either." And I was like, "Oh." So the moment she like turned around and someone called her name, I just dipped. I was not doing that for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did not give her the pee.
I did not give her my pee.
Well, yeah, I think you did a good job. I think you're not that close to her. You don't want her to think that you're just giving out pee, to
That's
just
true.
anybody. Don't give away your pee. That's the lesson to all the people at home. I can tell you that I have given my pee to one of my friends before.
It's more common than people think.
It is more common than people think. Sometimes you just gotta help your buddy out. But that was in high school a long time ago. Obviously, I don't just give away my pee as a it's not a hobby of mine, but sometimes you have to get it done. I will tell you a story about how I actually this is actually a decent story. This happened to me in college. So I was in college. I was talking to a girl, and it was Valentine's Day, and I got a big sushi dinner prepared for us, and I invited her over to come have the dinner and some wine, and she stood me up. Okay,
Oof.
She didn't show up. Right, so doesn't show up for the Valentine's Day dinner, and then I decide that, and I have a trip to Chicago the next morning. So I was hoping that she would come, we could hang out, and then she could take me to the trip at it was like a 3 a.m., 2 a.m. trip, like we were going overnight. So I was like, yeah, come hang out, and then you can give me a ride to my trip. So she doesn't show up. She just disappears. And then I decided it's a great idea to eat all the sushi and drink all the wine. I thought that would be a good idea.
Yeah.
So the next day at 2 a.m., I'm going on a class trip with people from my school.
A class trip.
So,
Okay.
Yeah, so I drink all the wine and I eat all the sushi. So now I am full and drunk.
Yeah.
And so, and I just got stood up on Valentine's Day for the first time in my life. So after that, I went, I took an Uber to where we were leaving for the trip, right? So I get there, I am just very intoxicated, and I sit on the bus and I'm just like having a great time. And then we get on a train to Chicago. On the train to Chicago, we get to Chicago, we get to our plane, we get to our hotel.
Yeah.
My wallet is gone.
Oh.
I lost my wallet. I've checked my phone. People are swiping my card at like a McDonald's. They're swiping it on the train. I'm losing money as time goes on. So I call my bank. I let them know there's fraud going on. They're like, we can't help you. Now I'm in Chicago with no money. So
Wow.
I have to like get a parent to Venmo a friend so that I can have some money, like $100 for like a few days.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm at this conference with my school, and there's a talent show, and I volunteered to do comedy at the talent show. By this point, I was like a year into comedy. So I do the talent show. I win the talent show, and they give me a new computer.
Wow.
So I end up going back to my school with no girlfriend, no wallet, and 2 computers. The most ridiculous turn of events I have ever been through, but that definitely happened to me. And I just saying that I left with, I ended up with no wallet, no girl, and 2 computers.
Interesting. So what do you have like? What do you do with the computers? What happened to the credit card?
The credit card, I had to wait like a month. It takes forever to get a new credit card. And then the computer, I gave it as a gift to my dad. I think he maybe gave me some money for it because I had definitely lost some money. And then I ended up doing some shows in Chicago. It was a great trip. I'll never forget the first time I got stood up, because that was the whole,
Yeah.
like the whole turn of events.
Yeah. It started everything for that disastrous, but also eventful, highly eventful series of events.
Yes, it was a highly eventful series of events. Yes, Spencer. That is a great way to explain it.
I mean, you get a story out of it. I see
Yeah.
I see many positives to this. Maybe because I'm just naive or optimistic. But
No, it was a very positive trip, but it definitely started in a very negative manner. So
yeah,
maybe a little lesson to people that when it goes and gets tough, stick around because you might end up with 2 computers.
right on. What advice would you
You
say
never
to
know.
anybody starting something new?
All right. I had somebody ask me this on my TikTok live today. Um,
Okay.
and I think that the best thing to do, wow, the best thing to do is, and this is advice for you too, Spencer. I know you're 13 weeks into this podcast. Best thing to do is to not stop. So if you are drawing once a day, draw once a day for the rest of your damn life. If you are recording a podcast twice a week, record it twice a week for the rest of your life. If you like to do it, I cannot say this enough. If you like to do it, never stop doing it.
Yeah.
No matter what happens in your life, if you can muster up the energy to do it, never stop doing it, because you literally never know when the work will pay off. So if you quit, you are risking the idea that it was literally going to pay off a week later. So you can never quit because it literally might pay off. Like you, if you're listening to this right now and you're not sure if what you're doing is going to pay off, it might pay off next week. So don't quit today. And next week, think the same way. And think like Seinfeld. You have to be 20 years into something before anything happens. Like if you think long term like that, like you're just going to do this forever and get as good as you possibly can at it, nothing can stop you.
Right on. I think just to add on to that, even just 13 weeks in or even 5 years for you, basically, especially with the amount of social media going on and just the numbers being thrown at you if you're posting whatever you're doing, the best thing and like one of the best things you could do is just not look at the numbers and just kind of assume you have a mass following, and you kind of build an expectation that you have to be better, and you're doing that for no one else but yourself.
That's a straight up fact, Spencer. That is
Thank
a
you.
cold, hard fact.
Thank you. I thought of it all by myself.
If you do this for you, nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
Because all the hate, you're going to get hate. You're always going to get hate. Remember that. You will always get hate. There will always be somebody that wants to talk negative. That's fine. That's totally fine.
Yeah. Okay, I've been like, I don't know if you've probably noticed, but like throughout like this like whole like interview, like the lighting has like just diminished. Could you tell? It's like super dark in my room because I wasn't expecting to turn on my camera, but you know, now it's like dark out. I'm on I'm in California.
So oh yeah.
I'm like facing the window, and like the lights just like sun's gone, so I'm gonna turn on my light real fast, and then like we can get back into it. Marcel, you're like incredibly positive. What was this drive for you? What makes you so positive? How do you stay positive?
I don't look into negativity really. I mean, I've had my moments. When this virus thing first happened, I was in such a negative place, Spencer. It was bad. I was in a very, very dark place for like 3 months. Bad, Spencer. I'm talking bad. I was in a very ugly place. I was very negative. I thought it was over. I thought everything was over. Yeah. I mean, I literally probably hit one of my rock bottoms. I'm sure you hit rock bottom, a few times during the course of your life, but that was one of my first rock bottom moments. Mm-hmm. And I think that is what's made me so positive, is the fact that I had such a dark moment a few months ago, and coming out of it and feeling much healthier and much better. That's made me more positive. And also everybody that I follow just tells me to be positive. Everybody that I look up to is always preaching positivity. So I kind of take their word for it, that positivity is the way. And when bad stuff happens, I don't like to read a lot about it. I think bad stuff is going to happen no matter what, right? So to add any bad things to your life is just useless, because bad stuff is already going to come to you as a normal occurrence.
Yeah, right on. Interesting. So how would you say
it's going to happen to everybody?
Yeah. Interesting. And then that just kind of goes on to just kind of the advice you're saying before. You just have to keep on going.
Just never stop. Even if it sucks, Spencer. Even if it sucks so bad. Because you think about it, even Michael Jordan had nights where he had like 7 points. Think about that. The best basketball player in the world. And one day he goes out and he barely scores any points. And he misses a bunch of shots. The beauty is that there's a game for him the next day that's already scheduled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's already going to happen. So the issue with people like you or people like me that are technically entrepreneurs, nobody's forcing us to make a video tomorrow, that you have to hold yourself accountable. You have to schedule that game tomorrow so that you can just get back in it, you know? Schedule that game for tomorrow so that you don't end on that negative note. You know what I mean? Do it so that you don't dwell on that 7-point game that you had, even though you're the best basketball player in the world.
For sure.
That's why those guys are so successful, Spencer, because they play so many games that if they lose, they don't even think about it. They just move forward. Losing is such a normal part of their life that, you know, regular life becomes easier because you've already accepted that there's going to be some losing. You know, dwelling on that is useless.
No.
But putting action towards,
Yeah.
you know, not happening again or being better in the future, that is not useless. That is, I think that's the meaning of life.
Mm-hmm.
The meaning of life is to learn from your mistakes.
Yeah. I fully believe that you could learn anything from everything, even just people or actions, nature, a function.
Anything
like,
you want to learn, just wait. Just
right
wait.
on. Just wait. Right on. I mean, thank you so much, Marcello, for just chatting with me. Sorry, if you want to get your last thought in.
No, yeah, that's my advice. That's the last thing I want to say is for everybody that's working really, really hard and it hasn't paid off yet, just wait.
Yeah. Thank you just so much for taking
Just
the
wait.
time for me. Do you have any last minute thoughts and anything you want to shout out?
Man, I want to shout you out, Spencer. I want to
Thank
shout
you.
you out for having this having this podcast and being such a go-getter at 16, 13 weeks into a podcast. I want you to verbally promise me you're not going to stop this for some dumb reason.
I virtually pinky promise.
Beautiful. Put it up. Just let me see it. Perfect. Just for everybody listening, he put his pinky up, so he's not going to stop this podcast for any dumb reason.
Thank you.
Then number 2, man, is just don't stop doing this. This is dope. And if anybody wants to help me out, you know, follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is at Marcello, MarcelloHDZ. And I'd appreciate it. Give me a follow. Yeah, man, thanks for having me, dude. I appreciate the time, Spence.
Thank you. I know you're super busy, so I'm glad we're able to work something out.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry I was late, but I'm glad we got it done.
Totally
And
understand.
let me know when it comes out. I'll share it.
Of course.
I'll try to get you some more listeners. And I appreciate your time, bro.
I appreciate yours. All right, Marcello, I'll keep you posted for what is to come, and until then, I will see you later.
All right, man. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, Luke Grumbo and Barney, for the music I used in today's episode. Of course, thank you, Marcello, for being the guest on today's episode. If you, the listener, want to hear more of Milking Ardor, make sure you are subscribed and you'll be notified for whenever I post. In addition to that, if you want to see exclusive content, if you're not listening in on YouTube, check out my YouTube and TikTok, for there is exclusive content there of more interviews, pretty much just interviews. That's pretty much what I do. Please, you could really help me out by sharing Milking Ardor with a friend, a family, anyone you could possibly think of. If we spread the word of Milking Ardor, we can share as many stories to as many people as possible, and if people come to me with their story, I'd love to interview them. That brings me to my last and final point, really. If you want to be on Milking Ardor, reach out to me on Instagram at _Spence_R_. All you have to say is, hey, Spencer, let's do an interview. And I'll schedule a time with you. We'll figure something out between us, and we will make it happen. Thank you for listening to episode 15, and we will be back next Saturday and hear 3 amazing stories. That's it for me, folks. Until next time, I will see you later.